There we go. Now I gotta listen to make sure. See, this is why I check things. This is why I check things. You missed all my cool singing. Sorry. I'll sing something later for you. There we go. All right. Now I gotta listen. That's how long the lag is? Man, it's a long lag. Hi, welcome to the live stream where we do it live. Welcome. Joan is in the house. It's a rainy day here in South Jersey. So I hope you're dry and warm where you are. It is not dry and warm here. It is kind of cold, not so dry, not so dry. It's finally starting to get cold here. I had a random tomato plant grow in my backyard in a weird spot. I never planted it. And I have not. Oh, Philip is here. Hello, Philip. Mr. Filbert Coffee Esquire. Hello, Tony. Hello. You are first. JEC is here. Hi, hi, hi. Snowing here. Oh, dear God, no. I hate snow so much. So I had this tomato plant just spontaneously grow in my backyard. And it really grew. I mean, I have a bunch of tomatoes from it. But unfortunately, they didn't ripen in time. It's gonna probably frost in the next day or two. So I had to pick them all. So I'm hoping they will ripen in my windowsill, and I will have about 3 dozen cherry tomatoes. The last tomatoes of the season. And if you haven't had a Jersey tomato, well, you just really haven't had tomatoes. Hate to tell you. Hate to tell you. So what went on this week with me, just briefly? Went to a few places. Just 2, really. Can't read my own damn handwriting. Got to look at the chart. And I already erased it. Gosh, where did I go? I know Saturday I went to the Clearbrook Adult Community event. That was a craft fair. That was pretty good. Where was the other one? It was a library. I forget now. Oh, I remember. Crosswicks. I went to the Crosswicks Library. Very historic town. Very connected to the Jersey Devil because Daniel Leeds, the grandfather of the Jersey Devil, patriarch of the Leeds family who started it all, had a falling out with the Quakers in Crosswicks, New Jersey, and that's when he moved down south to Leeds Point, New Jersey, where eventually the Jersey Devil was born. Philip says, my volunteered tomatoes did better than the ones I bought also. Your dog news is here. Hey, Tony. Hey, chat. Hope you're all well. I am well. Tell us the latest dog news. I love dog news. Clint Miller is here. Hello. Good evening. Good evening, Clint. Man, your dog's news. I got to know that news because my dog needs to be informed. Right, Joan? She's very ignorant of many topics. Discussing politics with Joan is like discussing it with a dog. Clint at JEC, it's snowing at your place? Indy Phantom is here. Time to forget about Oscars for Sydney Sweeney's. Why? Because Christy is terrible and she can't act? Because she's hot and she never really learned to? I don't know. I mean, she's still hot. We can all agree on that. Her boobs are fantastic. Maybe they could give her an Oscar for her boobs. Who cares about an Oscar these days? Oscars are so pointless now, in my view. They give them out to anyone who makes a stupid woke movie. Don't care. Don't care. It was all politics and intrigue in Hollywood. Anyway, for most of its run. Your dog news. LOL, it's Zebek's demise. Oh, hey. For some reason, it has reverted to my old name. It still didn't answer my question. Do you have any dog news, Zebek? Do you have any dog news? Indy Phantom. Christy at number 11. Oh, no. Oh no. Well, that doesn't mean anything in terms of an Oscar. They're pushing for one battle after another to get a bunch of Oscars. That movie didn't do well at all. JC, I hadn't even heard of 90% of the movies nominated in the last few years. Indie Phantom, she needs to just focus on hotness. We all need to just focus on hotness, yes. Well, I guess we'll be looking at some of the nominated movies. The nominations are already out. Haven't looked at Variety yet. All right, well, let's not delay it anymore. Today we're going to do, amongst our usual things, we're going to do some movie recommendations. So I made a bunch of lists of my movie recommendations, so we'll be talking about that. In fact, I have many lists, so why don't I just go through the first one just to get warmed up here. I've hidden it behind my head so you can't see the list. So, holy cow, you guys are chatty tonight already. Filbert, speaking of award, they had to Rock and Roll Hall of Fame some terrible fashions. Yeah, like, why is Salt and Pepper in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame and Miss Elliott? Like, they're famous, but they're not rock and roll. They should be in the Hip Hop Hall of Fame or whatever. Zebek says, LOL, the all blank pages with different smells. That's dog news. Filbert, I don't think Tony is aware of the viral interview with Miss Sweeney. No, I am. I didn't really listen to it, but I know she dunked on the stupid mainstream reporter. All right, so my top 10 horror comedy recommendations. Now, I just made these off the top of my head mostly, so don't come at me on this. But I did put them in a particular order. Indie Phantom, Predator now has a synth girlfriend. Oh yeah, we'll be talking about that. All right, so horror comedy. Number 10 is Bubba Hotep. Number 9 is Gremlins, the first one. Number 8 is Zombieland. Number 7 is Beetlejuice. Number 6, highly underrated, I think, Gremlins 2. Number 5, Tucker and Dale versus Evil. Number 4, Shaun of the Dead. Number 3, Tremors. I celebrate the entire Tremors catalog. Number 2, This Is the End. Very funny movie. And number 1, of course, is Army of Darkness. Evil Dead 2 would be an honorable mention, along with Killer Clowns from Outer Space, if you've never seen that. They also did a video game sequel to it, which was pretty badass. All right, so that was the first list. Do with that information what you will. If you haven't seen any of those movies, they're good. They're all good. So try not to complain about movies for once. All right, let's get into the box office. Number 1, Predator Badlands. Yes, he now has a synth girlfriend who helps him through his troubles and get in touch with his feelings, like so many women do. $40 million is the opening, which you think would be pretty good, but let's find out more. JEC, Return of the Living Dead, Phantom of the Paradise. I like both those movies, but I felt that they weren't comedic enough to be hot. I mean, maybe Return of the Living Dead. I felt they were more not as comedic, but yeah. Zebek says, all great choices, thank you. Indie Phantom, Army of Darkness is cool. I love Army of Darkness. Jesse SDF is here. Sup, dudes? All right, so Predator Badlands did 40 million and 40 million. That's suspiciously even numbers. On a budget of 105. So what are we looking at here? 105. We're going to have to do 210 to break even, plus another 50. So you got to do 250. I don't think this movie makes its money. No. Next week it'll be another 40 at 120. Then another 20. That's 160. Then 10 at 175 at 175. And if you add up the rest of the week, it might break even. Be close. It's going to have really good legs. If this has legs, maybe. Maybe if this has legs. Indie Phantom, Christie on over 2,000 screens? I haven't even gotten to that. Where is Christie on this list? Wow, 11. Geez, you're right. Over 2,000 screens, and it only did 1.3 million. Oof. Yeah, it's because they took the most beautiful woman in Hollywood currently and said what we should do with her is give her a butch haircut, let her get herself chunked up, put her in ugly clothes from the 80s, and have her get punched in the face. Yeah, sounds like an amazing idea. Like, it wasn't bad enough Kristen Stewart did this, although Kristen Stewart's not all that, mid at best, even in her, hottest moments. But Sydney Sweeney, who thought this was a good idea? I'd love to meet her agent. Indie Phantom, Predator will drop when Running Man takes premium screens next week from Predator. Yeah, and it's not getting great reviews. There's a bit of a back and forth. So the stuff I'm seeing is, of course, the guys at Fandom Pulse absolutely hated it, roasted it for its wokeness and its girl stuff. Now some people are saying it's a different take on the Predator, but acknowledging that it's not the worst movie in the world, but it's not really a Predator movie. That it softens the Predator up too much and, adds this other character and gives him more of a personality. And, of course, the Hollywood Reporter had, some kind of brain lapse where the critic argued that the Predator is queer because he has an argument with his dad and, needs to get in touch with his feelings. It just didn't make any sense to me. Indie Phantom. I read that one. JC. Guys at Fandom Pulse, you mean JDA and Chat GTP? I think he has a couple of guys writing for him. I think, isn't Jonathan Trent writing for him on occasion? So I don't know what to do about Predator Badlands, quite frankly. On the one hand, I love the Predator movies, the first two. I celebrate the first two Predator movies practically on a daily basis. But everything after that has been trash. And it's such a simple concept. Oh my God, what a simple effing concept. And they even have the roadmap in 2. And does he do it in 3? Does he give him a trophy in 3? I don't remember. I don't think he does. He just blows himself up. Indie Phantom, remember when Predator had a mask and was menacing? Yes, I do. JC, John Trent, Chat GTP, and JDA. So like the second movie sets up beautifully where you could go with the Predator, right? He throws him that gun and it's got, I forget the year that's written on the gun. And it's like an old pirate flintlock. JC, Predator 2 was fine, but a big step down from the first one. Disagree. But they're both good. I mean, they're both good, fine movies. Indie Phantom, yes, the only good Predators are 1 and 2. JC, Predator 3 was Aliens versus Predator. Yeah, it's dumb. The next movie should have been one of 2 things. It should have been Predator in the past, fighting the pirate guy who he got the gun off of, or Predator in the further future, maybe. I don't think you want to go too much far in the future, but I have a brand new pitch I'd like to share with all of you. You guys have pitched many a movie here on the chat, but I'm going to pitch a movie which I think you will agree would make $1 billion easily. Easily. All right, are you ready? Are you sitting down? You got to sit down for this. It's Predator versus Mad Max. So to me, this is the natural progression of the first 2 movies. The first movie, Predator. introduces the whole concept. The second movie is Predator in L.A. in the not too distant future, when L.A. is very, very crime ridden, almost as crime ridden as it is today. The third Predator could be, the third real Predator, I'll say, could be, it's after society has collapsed. The Predators come back to Earth and fight Mad Max. I would bring back Mel for one last ride. And it's, you know, the Predators are attracted to violence and the heat. There's a bunch of Mad Max guys running around killing each other. Maybe Max now has his own clan of guys running around on motorcycles with mohawks. And a Predator comes. And Max is the only one to save everybody. Like, Max has to save the Mad Max world or the town or whatever. And he's going to save it. And it would be the last movie with Mel, I would say. And then he dies fighting the Predator. That would be spectacular. It would be absolutely spectacular. But they'll never do it. But that would make $1 billion. Easily make $1 billion. Everybody on the planet, I would go to theaters to see that. You couldn't stop me. Oh my God. Mel Gibson back as Mad Max versus the Predator. Holy F. Holy F, that would be good. You may praise me now. Anyhow. Number 2. Wasn't this number 1 last week? Regretting You. Or did it drop? Did it drop when the Sunday numbers came in? It did. Regretting You was number 1 last week. But it must have dropped after the rest of the Sunday stuff came in. Black Phone went back up to number 1. Wow. JC, works better as a comic book idea. Either way. I don't think, nobody buys comics anymore, unfortunately. But it would work very well, I think, as either. I think you could do it animated a lot easier. But they'll never do it. Regretting You was actually number 2. Last week, it was number 1. So Black Phone charted at number 1. Weird. So Regretting You is number 2. It's 7.1 million. Wait, it only dropped by 9%? Holy crap. Wait a minute. Last week, it was in 3,425 theaters. It only dropped by 229 theaters. Jesus. That is a consistent effing movie. That is crazy. Indie Phantom, they would ship Predator and Furiosa. Yeah, they totally screw it up. But it would do bank. That would be a movie that would do bank like you wouldn't believe. Even just bringing Mel back as Mad Max would do bank. But against the Predator, oh, what a matchup. And that to me would be the natural progression of the 3 movies. The first movie, and then the second movie, you got society starting to crumble, and then Mad Max times, it's already crumbled, and you're in the wasteland. So, but Regretting You, that's crazy. It only dropped by 9%. And that's basically, you could account for the 229 theaters it dropped out of. Wow. That is crazy. So, Jesus. It doubled its money. How much did this thing cost? So that's 70 million. I mean, it's a romantic comedy. These usually don't cost a lot of money at all. Is that Sydney Sweeney in that? Who the hell's in this thing? That's not Sydney Sweeney. But it is a hot chick. No, some hot blonde, but not her. Allison Williams. She looks good. McKenna Grace also looks good. Dave Franco. Man, that's a win for Dave Franco. 70 million. I'd be shocked if this thing cost more than 30 million to make. You got 4 young actors. Dave Franco, I mean, he's not commanding a super high box office yet. I wouldn't imagine. So I think that's money right there. JC, it only made 8 million last week. Still though. Dropping from 1 to 3 is Black Phone. In its 4th week, made 5.3 million. Okay. Now this one, I don't think this is making its money. Because I think this cost more. No, 30 million? No, that's big money. They're going to make a third one. They will make a third one. I mean, that's money. That's money right there, and it's still in theaters. They're going to do a third one. You have to. If you got 2 movies that do that well, you'll do a third. Do the trilogy thing. Number 4, Sarah's Oil. I didn't think this movie would do any kind of business. This is Zachary Levi, and it's based on a true story about some young little black girl who inherits like some land with oil on it. Somehow this happened, like, I don't know, like in the 1800s or something, and some nice people helped her with it, and I don't know, she made a bunch of money, I guess. Early 1900s. 4.4 million. I don't know. That's probably not going to make its money. But it's on Amazon, so they don't care about it making money. It's content, 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 baby. Content. We need content. All right. Would I see that? No. It looks boring. I mean, I like Zachary Levi, but just looks like a boring movie. I'd rather read the Wikipedia entry, quite frankly, and just find, oh, she inherited some oil back in the early 1900s. Well, good for her. I don't need to see a whole drama about it. Number 5 is Nuremberg. How many times are they going to make this? I mean, they made a lot of these. But I'm sure it's fine. It's got Russell Crowe, Rami Malek. Not sure why it attracts such big names to do these movies again and again and again, but 4 million's. I mean, does that even cover much? 4 million. It's only in the States. This movie had to have cost. I mean, it had to have cost 50 million. It had to. For all the uniforms and period piece stuff. Although a lot of it might have been shot inside the cells, so maybe not. Still, though, 4 million is pretty lame. I mean, this is the result of, there's no draw with these celebrities now. None. Like, no one cares about celebrities. I like Russell Crowe. He lost weight for the movie, although he still looks fat to me. But he looks less fat, I guess. Rami Malek, I could sort of take or leave. I forget who else is in it. But I've seen this movie. I mean, I've seen this drama again and again and again. So, number 6, dropping from 3, is the Chainsaw Man movie. 3.6 million in its 3rd week. Still in a lot of theaters. The Weebs have taken over. The Weebs have taken over movies. 137 million. JC, sounds like a movie funded by Israel? They don't need to fund that movie. They want to do those movies. It's a big drama. It's perfect for actors. Indie Phantom, you know what is nuts? That the new Frankenstein movie on Netflix costs 120 million and getting better reviews than most of these. Yeah, it's getting great reviews. I just watched the Critical Drinker. He says it's really solid. Indie Phantom, we don't need another Frankenstein, though. Yeah, I mean, he said as much, but it's like, it's a faithful adaptation. It looks really good. The performances are good. It's kind of like Shakespeare in its own way. it's so old. You just kind of want to see everybody's version of it. So you're not going to get much difference from some of the other ones, but apparently it's the most Frankenstein's the most often adapted story. There's like over 900 versions of it. That's pretty crazy. I didn't think there were that many versions of Frankenstein, but apparently that's the case. All right, let's take a quick break while I go down my list of action movies. These are action movies. Now, I love action movies, so this was really tough. So again, there's probably a bunch I left off the list, but number 10, Drunken Master. Number 9, Die Hard. Number 8, John Wick. Number 7 is 300. Number 6 is Lethal Weapon. Number 5 is Havoc. I really like that movie. Number 4 is Kung Fu Hustle. Number 3, of course, is Predator 2. Number 2 is Terminator 2, Judgment Day. And number 1 is The Raid Redemption. Honorable mentions to Police Story with Jackie Chan. The Terminator, the first Predator movie, The Bourne Identity, Shaolin Soccer, Heat, The Last Boy Scout, which I love, Taken, and Blade. And I'm sure there's many more I'm leaving out. So, again, don't come at me. All right. So, getting back to the list. Number 7 is Begonia. Like, who cares? 3.5 million in its third week, dropping from 4 to 7. Yorgos Lanthimos said he was going to take a break from movies. Yeah, take a long break. Take like 100-year break, Lanthimos. So, I don't know, 23 million. Emma Stone, Jesse Plemons. I hope this is his last movie for a long, long time. I didn't really like any of his movies. It looks awful. Number 8. Oh, this movie's out? Die My Love. 2.8 million. This is Jennifer Lawrence and Robert Pattinson. And Jennifer Lawrence plays a mentally ill woman in a relationship. Sissy Spacek is also in it. It actually looks like a pretty good cast. I just kind of don't like the story. So I don't know if I would watch it. It feels like Oscar bait, or that it should be Oscar bait. I don't think it's getting any traction in that area, though, but I didn't look at the Oscar noms. So, I don't know. I really don't want to see a movie where they spend 90 minutes having a relationship fall apart, but if Jennifer Lawrence is naked, maybe. But 2.8 million, yeah. This better be Oscar bait, or why the hell did you even make it? Although it might be fun to watch them try to off each other in the movie. But, you know, again, celebrities aren't drawing in people. I mean, if Robert Pattinson can't draw in Twilight fans on a movie that's essentially a romantic drama, it's a negative one, but it's romantic and it's a drama, that would hit the Twilight people. They're not coming out for it. I know one big Twilight fan. I don't even think she knows about that movie. Indie Phantom. Oscar noms aren't out until late January, early February. Oh, so what did you guys know then? I guess you guys are just guessing. Dropping from 7 to 9 is Springsteen, Deliver Me from Nowhere, 2.2 million. Going out of theaters. Wow. Yeah, this movie, they're already talking a sequel, but I don't think that's going to happen. And when I say sequel, just another biopic to sell his records. Indie Phantom, it is still 2025. I know. That's why I was kind of surprised you guys had an inside track, and I figured there must have been some article that dropped. But Tron Arse, as Indie Phantom says. Indie Phantom, Springsteen, nobody cares. Tron Ars, 1.8 million in its fifth week, dropping from 8 to 10, 137 million. This is a big bomb. This is a big poopy diaper for Disney again. How many times can you S the bed, Disney? I mean, really, before you just stop and say, maybe we don't know how to make movies. Maybe we should talk to those people over at Amazon who deliver packages. They seem to know what they're doing. Number 11 is Christie. Sydney Sweeney's Boobies can only pull in 1.3 million. Oh my God, the international box office is $1,878. Wow. Well, this movie, I can't imagine it cost too much to make. Indie Phantom, one battle after another will sweep Oscars, so that is the inside track. I don't know if it'll sweep it. The latest thing on that was they switched the description to a comedy in, I guess, whatever streaming platform it dropped on, which I don't think it's going to help it. I think that's actually going to hurt it. Because if you're trying to market that as a comedy and it's just not a good movie, yeah, I don't think people are going to laugh at it. Who the F is Christie? She was a female boxer who made some gains for female boxers, and she was very famous and in her time, I guess. And so she won, I think she won a championship, and she married her manager, but he was abusive. And then, so it's a whole drama about her life and overcoming her abuse and then getting back into the ring, you know. But again, I wouldn't have cast Sydney Sweeney. That would have been a perfect movie for Gina Carano or Ronda Rousey, but, you know, their acting ability, I don't know if they could have handled it. But they would look the part. I mean, Ronda Rousey especially would look the part. But, you know, Hollywood. Oh, we got a beauty queen? Yeah, let's cast her as a boxer. Oh, we've got Gina Carano? Oh, yeah, let's cast her as a beauty queen. Like, this is what they do in Hollywood. Indie Phantom, they are putting it in the comedy category at the Golden Globes. Yeesh. Number 12 is Back to the Future. Back in theaters at $950,000. That's not too bad for a movie that old. Number 12. Number 13, One Battle After Another, dropping from 11 to 13. Made $870K. And 196 million on 140. Nah, that is not money. Not gonna make it. Number 14, dropping from 9, is Stitch Head in its second week, dropping 59%. This is a kid's movie. It's like a kid Frankenstein type movie, I guess. Not doing well. 4.7 million. That is not well. That had to cost a lot of money. It's all animated. Good Fortune in its fourth week already, $605,000. Yeah, this is not doing well. I'm on the fence about this movie. 22 million. Yeah. I wanted it to do good for Aziz Ansari. But, I mean, in his defense, nothing's really doing good. So, number 16 is Roofman, 445K. All these movies going out of theaters just about. Demon Slayer, Kimetsu no Yaiba, the movie. Indie Phantom, Good Fortune looks weak. It does, admittedly. Holy crap. This Demon Slayer thing, though, did okay. 668 million worldwide. That's not too shabby. Sentimental Value premieres at like 18. for $200K. I don't remember what this is about. Sisters Nora and Agnes reunite with their estranged father, the charismatic Gustav, a once renowned director who offers stage actress Nora a role that he hopes will be his comeback film. When Nora turns it down, she soon discovers he has given her part to an eager young Hollywood star. Suddenly, the two sisters must navigate their complicated relationship with their father and deal with an American star dropped right in the middle of their complex family dynamics. That sounds not great. Indie Phantom just saw a post saying Predator actually finishing at $39 million. Overestimating by Cisney. I wouldn't be surprised. Although they're usually pretty accurate. Disney corrected. All right, continuing down the list. It Was Just an Accident. $192K in its fourth week. I still want to see that movie. Gabby's Dollhouse, the movie, $125K. Truth and Treason from Angel Studios, $93K. Soul on Fire, $90K. Shelby Oaks, $85K. Going out of theaters, big time. If I Had Legs, I'd Kick You, $60K. The Bad Guys 2 in its 15th week, $55K. Peter Hujar's Day, $47K, premiering in 4 theaters. I saw the trailer for this. It looks incredibly pretentious. Mistress Dispeller in its 3rd week, $94.64. Natchez. What is this? No idea. 9K. After generations of showcasing its antebellum homes and hoop-skirted descents, Natchez, Mississippi is now reckoning with a romanticized past and uncertain future, and the debt it owes to the descendants of slavery. Pass. Hard pass. Cat Video Fest 2025. Still in theaters. You still have time. It's in its 15th week. Indie Phantom. What are these damn movies? Sounds like AI-generated fake-ass titles. Yeah, it's crazy. 6,898. I mean, you might as well keep Cat Video Fest 2025 in the theaters for the rest of the year. And Peacock, still in theaters. Man, they really want this movie to do well. $1,045. It is not. Spoiler, it is doing terribly here. Wow. That's bad. The entire gross is 177,830. Oof. Oofa. For a grand total of $81,064,068. Slightly better than last week. And you'll remember last week was the, what was it, the lowest grossing Halloween in years? So that is no bueno. This is November, people. All right. Next up on my list of recommended movies. This is crime dramas. Now, this is a really tough one for me, and I'm sure I've left a few off here. It should probably be here. But here we go. And some of these are admittedly comedies, but I put them on the list because I didn't really have any place to put them. Number 10 is Fargo. Number 9 is True Romance. Number 8, The French Connection. Number 7, Dog Day Afternoon. Number 6, Goodfellas. Number 5, Casino. Number 4 is Chinatown. Number 3 is Serpico. Number 2 is The Godfather. And number 1 is The Godfather Part 2. I think that's the superior movie. Honorable mentions to Lock, Stock, and Two Smoking Barrels and Snatch. Love Guy Ritchie. All right. Yeah, so forget about the movies we just heard about on the box office. Go watch all the movies I'm recommending today. All right, let's see what Fandom Pulse is saying. Predator Badlands rescues box office with 80 million global opening, franchise best domestic debut. Yeah, but it's not going anywhere. Not likely, I would say. But I don't know, if you want to turn it into the cute and cuddly Predator, I guess you can. So the problem with this movie is, too, Predator is really not about the Predator. Not in the first two movies. It wasn't about the Predator. It was about Arnold Schwarzenegger in the first movie, Danny Glover in the second movie, and his friends. To put the focus on the Predator is the wrong focus, in my view. Another version of the Predator, which could have been great, is the Predator in the Big War against the evil bad guys from Germany. That'd be another good pitch. Indie Phantom, the Predator looks like a normal dude in a bad costume. JC, it's about surviving the Predator. Yeah, and the Predator's supposed to be very menacing. You're not supposed to say, oh man, I feel bad for him. Him and his father are having an out. What? We didn't even know if the Predators were like hatched or cloned or whatever. I don't sign on to hear about the Predator's problems. So, I think that was a huge mistake, but Hollywood, it's like, oh yeah, we'll change it all up. Indie Phantom, Bill Paxton good in Predator 2. He was good in everything. That was a bit of a different role for him. He was good supporting in that one. Mike Barron brings back the weird Western with Bronze Star 2. Cool. I'm a huge fan of Mike Barron. He is the creator of The Badger. If you've never seen The Badger in comics, it's really good. Something that probably should already been turned into a movie or a TV show. Would be fun. Will it ever happen? I kind of doubt it now, but there were rumors for a short time that Paramount had it in development. He also co-created Nexus with Steve Rude, and that one's still going pretty well. He also had a great run on The Flash. He did the run where Wally West wins the lottery, which was pretty funny. He also did some Valiant comics back in the day. All his stuff is pretty good. I recommend reading Mike Barron if you're into reading older new comics. I bought one of his crowdfunded works. It was called The Thin Blue Line. It was like a cop comic, but it was pretty good. Let's see. Video games delays and the government shutdown. Yeah, it's impacting everybody. Tell me about it. But here, we can talk about this. Apple TV's Pluribus is yet another LGBTQ propaganda sci-fi piece on a network littered with them. So I did a video about this article, and kind of got to agree. Yeah, Apple TV has been doing a lot of sci-fi, and they always somehow seem to work a lesbian character in the mix. And it's kind of disappointing to hear that Vince Gilligan is now doing that, because allegedly when he first wrote it, I read in an interview, he initially had a male protagonist. And now I think Rhea Seehorn is a really good actress, but I feel like the only explanation is Vince went into the Apple TV people and he said, listen, I have this new show. I want to do all these crazy things. And they said, we'll give you everything you want, but you have to make her a lesbian. I think that probably came from corporate, because they are, I think, most of the driving force. Because I don't think Vince is. Vince didn't seem that way to me in his previous creations anyway. So I think he's just doing what pays the bills. And I think they probably made him an amazing offer to let him do just about anything. So it's kind of disappointing, because I was sort of looking forward to this. And look, it's a sci-fi show, and you might say, well, what's the difference if she's a lesbian or not? Well, number one is I think it makes her a less relatable character. And number two, typically in sci-fi, everything in comedies drives the story to laughs, right? Everything in sci-fi is supposed to drive you to think about things or speculate about the future or question things based on science. That's part of the deal with science fiction. So if you're going to have a lesbian protagonist, typically that should have something to do with the science that's impacting the show, the story in the show. So the premise of the show is Earth is invaded by this weird collective, telepathic collective that causes everybody except 12 people on Earth to essentially just obey the collective. Like they're all working as a hive mind and they're all very, very happy and they're trying to get the last 12 people on Earth to switch over. And Rhea is like one of the miserable people who has somehow resisted it for some reason. So if that's the premise, I feel that her being a lesbian should somehow be part of the explanation of why she wasn't infected. Not all of it, but part of it. And I don't think they could make that work without being either politically incorrect or, you know, just not being able to make it work. 12 is too low of a number when you're talking about essentially a virus. But the thing is, the one saving grace I'll say is that Vince Gilligan could be smart enough to have decided that his character is going to represent the sort of antidote to the woke mind virus. Like the show might be a metaphor for wokeness, which would be amazing if that's the case. But I don't know. That would be an amazing sort of turnaround for Vince to have done, especially on Apple. But I don't know, man. And maybe he intends it to be that way, but I sincerely doubt the Apple TV people will give him carte blanche to keep going in that direction. But maybe. So I was sort of anxious to get my Apple TV hooked up. Now I'm not so anxious. I want to hear more about the premise and the story before I go, all right, I'm going to hook this up and watch it. So we shall see. Does anybody see the first 2 episodes? Apparently the first 2 episodes dropped already. Fans outraged as George R.R. Martin's A Feast for Crows Illustrated Edition allegedly uses AI art. So as if the fans couldn't get mad enough at George. Matt Fraction Batman quietly brings back Robin's gay boyfriend Bernard in issue 3. So that's where you could see, I assume DC Comics will cut a deal with Apple TV very soon. Predator Badlands director reveals his original intent to have the Predator fighting the bad guys from Germany in World War II. That would have been awesome. That would have been really awesome. But no. Now, would they have still made it woke? I don't know. Would have been really tough to do, too, right? You would have had to have had, like, maybe you could have had some, you know, resistant fighters, and they're killing all the bad guys from Germany, and they don't want to stop the Predator. But I don't know. I don't know what you could have done. Rian Johnson claims Star Wars The Last Jedi's negative reception did not lead to his trilogy getting scrapped. No. Why would that have anything to do with anything? Rian Johnson's terrible movies impacting his other pitched terrible movies? I couldn't imagine. Take-Two CEO confirms Borderlands 4 sales softer than expected. I didn't even know this game came out. What the hell happened to it? It doesn't even look like Borderlands. Where's the robot? Where are the mutants? Jeez. And Take-Two CEO shares update on BioShock 4 and promises it will be released. When? When the sun cools? How long has this game been in development? I don't even know how they could do yet another BioShock, considering the... I mean, if you've ever played it, it kind of was a ruin when the game started. Like, is there more to that underground, underwater city? It's like you're just going to keep adding on more and more of that city. Yeah, it seems like it's done. All right, looking at Variety. Oh, before we do that, I'll do another list. These will be my top 10 zombie movies. Top 10 zombie movies. Number 10, Dead Snow. Number 9, Dawn of the Dead, 2004. I don't like running zombies, but I did like that movie. 8, Scout's Guide to the Zombie Apocalypse, highly underrated. Number 7, also incredibly underrated, is Cockneys vs. Zombies. It's really a pretty cool movie. Number 6, Train to Busan, not to be missed. Number 5, Return of the Living Dead. Number 4, Shaun of the Dead. Number 3, the original Dawn of the Dead. Number 2, Peninsula. And number 1, Night of the Living Dead. With honorable mentions to Juan of the Dead, Day of the Dead, and Wormwood, Road of the Dead, which is Mad Max and the zombie movie together. So, yeah, check out those if you like zombie movies. All right, get the next list up. Okay, so Variety says Predator Badlands sets franchise records. Okay. Yeah, no one's going to movies, but don't worry, we set a franchise record. It's such a corporate mentality, isn't it? It's like, look, boss, we set a franchise record. No one's going to see your movies, idiots. It's like, who cares? You set a franchise record. Like, it's still not enough to pay for the movie. Allegedly. Again, these budgets they're probably outright lies. I would guess they are outright lies. But that's just me. They're charging all kinds of crazy things to the movie, so they don't have to pay taxes on any of the profits ever. And they, you could see how the studios estimate the box office, right? So if you can estimate the box office, let's say you estimate a box office, we'll do about $250 million on this thing. So if the budget is if you put the budget at $100 million, the movie needs to make 200 to do 200 million to break even, and then an additional 50 million to cover your advertising cost. Then you want the movie to be budgeted at 100 million no matter what, right? So wouldn't you inflate it if you're like, let's say you're at 90 million? Okay, you just find some way to spend another 10 million and call it 100 million. I mean, it seems like a no-brainer to me. JC, turns out Predator movies were never that successful to begin with? I don't know. We'll take a look at it. Zebek says you should check out Toilet of the Dead. Oh, wait. Is that the one that takes place in an office building where the characters are trapped in a bathroom in the office building during it's like a Christmas party when the zombies come and they're trying to get out of the bathroom? Because I think I have seen that movie. But let's see what the Predator did in terms of money. Obviously, it didn't do as well as $40 million. Excuse me. Indie Phantom. I saw the first Predator at a packed house in Times Square in 1987 with my parents, telling me that this did better. Well, let's see. So here's The Predator. It did 159. Oh, that's 2018. We don't want that. Now, why didn't the old one come up? Oh, it doesn't go back that far, maybe. Let's see. The Predator box office. Yeah, let's try. Here we go. Predator, 1987. Here we go. The opening was 12 million, and yeah, it had Arnold there. The budget was 15 million, and they don't have the international or the well, no, that was just the opening. 12 million was the opening. So what was the total? Give me the total. Oh, here we go. The total, worldwide total, it didn't do any worldwide. So 59 million on a movie that cost 15 million. So that's money, because it would have needed 30, maybe like 37. So this was money. Zevik, no, it's Japanese zombie flick with the zombies chase you with their asses. Oh wow, I got to see that. Indie Phantom, there is a fun little zombie movie called The Battery, which you might remember, Tony. No, I do not. What's that about? That has a sexy zombie chick too. Joan, I hear you moaning over here. You want to get down? Please feel free to recommend me zombie movies all day. All right, and The Predator 2 did 30 million opening. Oh no, sorry, 8.7 million. And then did 30 million domestic and 30 million worldwide. The international was $241. What, did you show this for a night in a theater in Europe somewhere? It's weird. 30 million. Now that movie sounds like it didn't make any money. So, but I love that movie, damn it. JC, was Return of the Living Dead on your list for horror? No. But for yes, it was number 5 for zombie movies. Horror is up next. So yeah, it looks like Predator 1 and 2 didn't do as well, but that's in 87, 1990 dollars. So I think you got to double that at least. But, you know, for the opening, sure, that's the biggest opening of the franchise. So if you double this, that's 16 million. The other one was 13. Was it 13? 12. So 24. Yeah, I would at least double it. So yeah, I mean, it opened big, but so what? Who the hell goes to the movies? No one. Almost no one, we found out. Oh, where are we? We're on Variety. Whoops. James, or JEC. Tickets were only like $2 back then, too. 87? Yeah, if you went to like a matinee, it was like $2.99, I think. We still had dollar movies then. The dollar movies had the dollar movie theater had the second run movies you could see for $1. You can't even open the doors for $1 these days. But oh my God. I just saw this headline. Trailer Park Boys star Mike Smith charged with sexual assault. Oh no. What the hell, man? He's Bubbles. Oh no. According to documents filed in Nova Scotia, Smith was charged on October 2nd in connection with alleged assault that took place at Dartmouth, Nova Scotia on December 30th, 2017. Oh no. I hope that's not true. Because his career's cooked if that's true. If he doesn't beat that rap, he's done. In Canada, JC Bubbles, yeah. I mean, in Canada, forget it. He's cooked. Even if he beats the rap, it's going to take a while for him to get back into action. Jeez. What else is going on? Oh, and speaking of sexual assault, Jeremy Renner denies harassment allegations from film director, totally inaccurate and untrue. So he's being accused by a Chinese film director. Indie Phantom, that is old news in Canada. Oh, I had no idea. Nikki Glazer jokes that New York is Epstein's original island in SNL monologue. My Gen Z's friends say I have resting Ghislaine face. I mean, she's pretty okay as a stand-up, I would say. Indie Phantom, he was cooked anyway since the series is long dead. I figured he must have had something else brewing. I'm surprised they didn't continue with the cartoon. Cartoon was pretty good, and that seemed to be an opportunity to keep the series going so everybody would look the same. JC, apparently there are a lot of rumors about Jeremy Renner being a complete degenerate. Really? Kind of surprised. I mean, after the snowplow, after he ran himself over with a snowplow, he seemed to be, everybody seemed to, oh my God, Jeremy Renner, he's such a nice guy, blah, 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 but we'll see what happens. Looks like the White Stripes got into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. So they are rock and roll. But yeah, I don't get salt and pepper. Doesn't make any sense to me. This is big news today. The BBC Director General and CEO of News stepped down after Trump editing controversy. In case you don't know, there was like a Trump clip, and the BBC, this was from January 6th, and the BBC edited it in such a way that it made Trump look like he was complicit, kind of, in January 6th, because, you know, they run with that narrative all day. JC, sounds like he got run over with a snowplow because he's a complete drunk. I don't know about that. I mean, maybe he was drinking. We don't know. Trump celebrates the exit of BBC Director General and CEO of News. These are very dishonest people. I can't do Trump. Man, it just kills me that I can't do a Trump voice. Huge. Man, I had it one time and I've lost it. Indie Phantom, watched the Belushi doc from a few years back. Now I'm hopping back into his smaller movies. Some of them are pretty good. Which one did I like? Kind of like Neighbors. It's weird. Aykroyd's weird in that. Let's see. Betty Hartford, Dynasty, and the Paper Chase actress, dead at 98. That's a pretty good run. Chappelle Rowan lauds Cyndi Lauper at Rock Hall introduction for showing us you can be bold, quirky, loud, glamorous, and have any hair color you want. Okay, whatever. Yeah, Cyndi Lauper. She's done some rock songs or rocky songs, kinda. I mean, she's more pop than rock, but you could kind of open the door for her, I guess. It's a bit of a stretch, but kinda in there. Let's see. Anything else? Dave Letterman offers a full sandwich of speech of a speech in inducting Warren Zevon into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Yeah, he's dead. I mean, people like that definitely need to be in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. It's like, I don't know why you got David Letterman to induct him. Were they friends? Indie Phantom, I love Neighbors. That is a movie where he relapsed and they had to hold him up for takes. Aw. I miss Belushi. Continental Divide was supposed to be the movie that he was gonna make his move over into serious acting right then. Because Belushi was driven to be more of an actor. He didn't want to do TV. He was very reluctant to do SNL. Indie Phantom, he had the whole issue where he wanted to be taken, serious, like a romantic lead in the way Chevy Chase was succeeding. Yep. Yeah, Continental Divide was going to be the movie that turned that ship around. It kind of was starting to work, and I think he died not too long after that. When was Continental Divide? I think that's the name of the movie. Yeah, 81. When the hell did he die? 83? Oops. 82. Yeah, so he died early in 82, and that movie came out in 81. And then he did Neighbors, and that was it. And even 1941, he's turning on the acting. Indie Phantom, he also did a serious flick called Old Boyfriends with Talia Shire. Oh yeah, there it is. Think Neighbors or Joy of Sex are his last. I don't see Joy of Sex on here, but yeah, Neighbors it looks like. Although Joy of Sex isn't on here at all, so maybe it was that. Maybe not counting that because he's not in it enough, but what's the Blues Brothers get on the rating? Blues Brothers Soul Man. Where's the Blues Brothers movie? It's not even on here. Oh, there it is. 7.9. Okay. That's high for IMDb. Where was I? Variety. And now, okay, we'll do another list. All right, this is horror movies. Horror movies. Straight up horror. Tried to kick out all the comedy horror. Number 10, The Thing. Number 9, Dead Calm. Love that movie with Billy Zane. It freaks me out. Number 8, The Babadook. Number 7, The Invasion of the Body Snatchers, 1978. Number 6, The Witch. Number 5, the original Nosferatu. I think it's a very creepy movie. Number 4, Alien, the first one. Number 3, sort of just had to put it in there up near the top. Night of the Living Dead, very important horror movie. Number 2 is Jaws, freaks me out. And number 1, I think it's the scariest movie, is The Exorcist. Honorable mentions to the original Halloween and Let the Right One In. I'm sure there are more I'm forgetting on that one. Indie Phantom, maybe he wasn't in Joy of Sex. I don't remember him being in it, but he might have been. Nicholson almost fired him off Going South before he was even famous. Dead Calm, it's horror. It's horror to me. I mean, you can put it down as a thriller, I guess. It scares the bejeebus out of me because of the whole ocean aspect. It scares me. And Billy Zane is just creepy in it. JC, I never liked Jaws. Never did anything for me. I don't want to be eaten by a shark. That's my fear. The Penguin star, Colin Farrell, really liked the script for Sergeant Rock and wanted to make the film. I guess he wouldn't have been a bad Sergeant Rock. He could do an American accent, I assume. Probably pretty easily. The weirdest thing was when Arnold Schwarzenegger was up for Sergeant Rock. And they actually started to develop this film for Arnold Schwarzenegger. That was the dumbest thing ever. Can you imagine Arnold Schwarzenegger as Sergeant Rock? Come on, we have to go kill these rotten Germans. Here, take a bullet in the face, Fritz. How do you like that? We're good old American boys. Fighting for American values. I mean, Indie Phantom Dead Calm is good. Saw it in cinemas. But Colin Farrell, I assume, could just act his way through anything. So I assume he would do a spot-on American accent, probably all the way down to the region and town. Probably some Brooklyn accent. Sergeant Rock have a Brooklyn accent? I don't think so. But I don't think anybody would be into this Sergeant Rock. I really don't. I think it's like way past its prime, in terms of, like doing a movie based on Sergeant Rock. I just can't see it being a thing. Unless you tied it into the DC universe and had some early superhero in it or something, maybe. But the sad thing, of course, is like, Batman and Superman started in like 39, and they would have at least initially started out as contemporaries. So, but I don't think you could do Sergeant Rock. It's just, I don't think it interests people. Unless you did it like Sisu. Do it like Sisu, and I'm there. Have Sergeant Rock just like obliterate people with like a pickaxe. Oh yeah. Then I'll go see it. Oh, I'll go see it 100 times. Let's see. From Superman and Lois to Daredevil, here are the 7 best superhero TV show finales of all time. All right, I'll just take a quick look at this. The Umbrella Academy. No, I'm out. All right, forget this list. Let's just move on. Yes, Gremlins 3 is finally happening. Allegedly. I do want to see Gremlins 3. I'll see it if you have the original guy in it. Sounds like he's up for it. I do love me some Gremlins. I think the second one's very underrated. So, very funny. I don't know what you're going to do for the third, but I definitely check it out. Mass Effect Amazon Net series will not retread original trilogy, instead tell a brand new story with the universe's timeline. Maybe? I don't know. They won't let this die. Michael Shannon, still proud of Zack Snyder's Man of Steel, says General Zod role meant more to him than just a big payday. Okay. Let's everybody defend Zack Snyder for the umpteenth time for the JLA and Superman. JC, is Joe Dante making it? There's no word that he's involved yet. The only 2 people who are in development are Spielberg and I guess it's Chris Columbus, I think. Let's roll back and look. Steven Spielberg and writer Chris Columbus. Yeah. Joe Dante, director of the first 2 Moons, will be sitting this one out, it says. Yeah, it sucks. So that means it'll either be, I don't know. Spielberg is often very sentimental in his movies, but he's not writing it. Chris Columbus, maybe. JC, if Joe Dante isn't directing, there's no point getting excited. Come on, give it a chance. Maybe it'll be good. It's still good. It's still good. Indie Phantom. Good news is Joe Dante is not involved. His Masters of Horror episodes suffered from TDS a friggin' decade before Trump even ran. Really? Huh. It's Specifically Trump or just Republicans? JC, Chris Columbus ends up directing it. It'll be mid as hell. Ah. All right. Because of that, I'm going to go to my next list, which is thrillers. These are thrillers, broadly speaking. All right. Number 10, Strangers on a Train. Really, every Hitchcock movie is a banger, just about. Number 9, The Bad Seed. Ooh, you got to see that. That is way ahead of its time. Not really a thriller, but pretty intense. 8, A Touch of Evil. If you want to see Charlton Heston play a Mexican, you can't miss that movie. Number 7 is Misery. God, Misery is awesome. Number 6 is The Shining. Not really a thriller, but I don't know where else to put it. Number 5 is definitely a thriller. It's one of my favorites, Marathon Man. Number 4 is Rear Window. Number 3 is The Third Man. Again, not really a thriller, but kind of close. Number 2 is Psycho. And number 1 is North by Northwest. I love that damn movie. JC, Strangers on a Train is a banger. It absolutely is. Indie Fan Team, Dante has a podcast now where he does nothing but call Trump and MAGA monsters and a threat to humanity. That's very sad. God, it makes me so sad when I hear someone like, you want to talk about the woke mind virus? The TDS is just off the charts. All right. Hollywood Reporter. JC, Shining should be on the horror list. You could have put Psycho on the horror list too. Yeah. I mean, I don't know. To me, it's more of like a tone thing. It's so intense. It's not really scary. It's just super intense. I mean, they both are really horror too. I also was trying not to overlap too much, so I put it in thriller. More of the same BS. How Billie Eilish scored a 2026 Grammy nom for 2024 song. Don't care. Why Seth Rogen said he turned down his favorite directors for the studio cameos. Don't care. Indie Phantom, see his Master of Horror episodes where zombies return to vote Democrat, and his other one where men just basically are feral gropers. JC, half your thriller list is Hitchcock. LOL. I love Hitchcock. Yeah, I didn't really think about these all that hard, some of them. JC, Gremlins 2 was a parody of a Trump Tower. Yeah, but it was fun. I mean, to me, it was more of a parody of network television, which I like. Let's see. It's all the same stupid things. Millie Bobby Brown channeled her inner Tom Cruise for a final season of Stranger Things. The Duffers have been training me for this moment. Yeah, Stranger Things, that first season, so awesome, and then I just lost interest. I can't even bring myself to go back and watch it. It's just too self-important. It's like as soon as something becomes super popular, they just kind of ruin it. It's just like, leave them alone. Let them do what... At that point, just hand them money and don't talk to them. You're making money. Why you gotta mess with it? JC, that's literally a Simpsons joke. My God, the dead have risen and are voting Republican. Stephen Colbert explains why he likes to play weak characters while celebrating Strangers with Candy anniversary. No one cares, Colbert. I used to celebrate your catalog of comedy, and now everything you've done is completely tainted for me. I see your face, and I'm out. Just out. He's going to be... Colbert's... the rumor is he's trying to go back to like TV and movies. He's in Star Trek Academy, or Starfleet Academy, whatever the hell that show is, that super woke last Star Trek series. He's in it. He's the he's like an AI dean or something, an electronic dean. Pete Davidson makes surprise SNL appearance to address the ferry boat he bought with Cullen Jost. That's kind of funny, I guess, for anybody who knew about it. I knew about it. They bought a ferry boat and they were going to convert it into a comedy club, but they never did it. I guess it was too expensive, or they just didn't do it. Indie Phantom, there was a Trump gremlin in Gremlins 2. I vaguely remember that, but I'm not surprised. JEC, he would be good for voiceover work. Remember Harvey Birdman? Yeah. Yeah, he was good for that. But now you've ruined it for me to remind me he was in it. Let's see. Ryan Reynolds remaking 1970s crime movie Thunderbolt and Lightfoot? I don't think you should do that. Why do they have to remake everything? No one remembers that, Ryan. Except you and me. Jesus. Oh, why are you going to mess with things? Indie Phantom. Picard is also the star of the Dante Masters of Horror episode. All right. Nothing else in Hollywoke Reporter. All right. Sci-fi movies. My list of sci-fi movies. Thunderbolt and Lightfoot. It was originally Jeff Bridges. And who's the other actor? I forget. God. It's a pretty good movie. Clint Eastwood. Yeah, it's pretty good. Michael Cimino writes and directs. It's a good movie. I like it a lot. Indie Phantom, Picardo, or whatever his name. Oh, yeah. Robert Picardo. He's in it. He's in that too. All right, so here's my sci-fi movies. Again, Number 10, The Matrix, just the first one. Number 9, Back to the Future, although I celebrate the entire trilogy. Number 8, Alien. I had to put it on there again. Number 7, Blade Runner, of course. Number 6, Predator 2. Again, I really like that movie. Number 5, They Live. Number 4, Time After Time, highly underrated. Number 3, A Clockwork Orange. Number 2, The Thing. And number 1, The Planet of the Apes, the original, with honorable mentions to Terminator 2, The Terminator, Aliens, the second Aliens movie, and Escape from New York, which I also really like. JC, the Heaven's Gate guy? Clint Eastwood? It's Clint Eastwood and Jeff Bridges. I forgot Clint Eastwood was in it. Catherine Bach is in it too. She had some health problems this week. Oh yeah, and Gary Busey's in it. I forgot he's in it. Vic Tayback is in it. If you remember him, you probably don't. JC, he did Deer Hunter too. Yeah, Thunderbolt and Lightfoot is really good. It's just a really good movie, I think. Alrighty. Where was I? It was Hollywoke Reporter. Okay, Bleeding Fool. Here's the GQ interview that backfired on all of Sydney Sweeney's critics. Can't beat the Sweeney and her boobs. Let's see. Disney and Spider-Man lose IMAX spots to Nolan's Odyssey. That Chris Nolan's Odyssey looks woke as F. I don't think I want to see that. I was kind of psyched when he first announced it, but now I'm like, dude, you're going to swap out every other person in this movie? I don't think it's going to work. Variety is melting down over the MAGA Hollywood takeover. I don't know if it's even going to happen. because Trump is trying to push the Warner Brothers purchase towards Skydance and Paramount and Ellison. I don't know if it's going to happen. See, here's another review of Predator, though. Review: Badlands. Predator Badlands turns scary trophy hunter into Disney mascot. Yeah, there's even a cute animal in it. So it's the Predator, his half android girlfriend, and then there's a cute fuzzy animal that then becomes his sidekick too. So that does not sound like the Predator to me. Oh, I didn't see this story. Marvel's latest Doom storyline is the worst kind of political metaphor. They're all bad coming out of Marvel and DC, in my opinion. It's an anti-immigrant populist politician. Oh boy. Anti-immigrant populist politician. Sure, why not? Who cares? It's Marvel Comics. No one's reading Marvel. No one's reading comics. Every person connected to comics that I've known is either out of comics or they are not doing well, I'll say. I ran into a guy, though, in my travels yesterday who worked with Steve Ditko and wrote a book about him. He was pretty cool. But he's basically retired. I mean, Alex Ogle is here. I kept wanting to read your whole name. Evening, bigots. That Sydney Sweeney predatory interview was analyzed very well on the podcast of the Lotus Eaters. It would only have been more compelling if Sweeney was in a bikini. Yes. JC, so it's someone I'd vote for? I started picking up trades again. Some of the trades, sure. I mean, you can pick up trades because you kind of already know what's good and what's bad in a trade, but Skybound's Transformer debuts surprise character to the Energon universe. I don't even think this is worth clicking, but I'm going to check out, see who it is. Surprise character is who? A military man who wants to propose an alliance with the Autobots. It's none other than Miles Mayhem himself. Who's Miles Mayhem? I guess he's... Oh, he's the antagonist in the 80s Mask cartoon? Oh, so they're throwing him in. Okay, so I guess they're throwing in Mask? Okay. Interesting. Alex Ogle. Perhaps the new Predator film could be salvaged by AI turning the Predator into Sweeney in a bikini and hunting down the somewhat dour and unattractive interviewer. That's what's going to happen. Every movie in the universe that you pack into your AI machine, whatever they're going to call it, everybody will be doing the same thing. Yeah, I want to see this movie, but everybody's naked and they're all hot chicks. Alex Ogle. I confess I made an attempt some years ago to get into comics. I just couldn't do it. I'd far rather read a good book. Yeah, I mean, I tried to make a go of it for many years, and the problem is you just can't make enough sales anymore. And I got into it just at the tail end. The first comic I did, I made money, which was Jersey Devil #1. But after that, we struggled to make money. And all the money was on me because I was the publisher, and that's the part of the problem too. You got to publish with your head, not your heart. So, and I made a bunch of mistakes. I mean, I wasn't perfect, but it's just really tough to make money in comics. And these days, it's so bad. The only real answer is if you're a one-man operation, you could do your own comic, you build up an audience, and then you could do, a crowdfunder. And those work out pretty good. And if they don't, you don't have to make the comic. So that's the good thing about them. Indie Phantom. Problem is that wokies are declaring victory that Sweeney interview didn't save her movie. No one cares what these people think. And no one's going to see movies. I mean, that's the main problem. I mean, you could say that's the issue, but the movie itself wasn't exactly based. It was yet another, it was a true story, so it's not like a total girl boss AstroTurf, but really it's another girl boss. Nobody wants to see that. Not right now. Like 10 years, I'll say 20 years ago, if you had done a movie like Christie, maybe, because it would have been a bit unusual. But like people are so sick of girl bosses. They're just sick of them. You know, Alex Ogle, seems that the best way to start a comic is to be a friend of the Friday Night Tights set, which case they'll promote the hell out of you. Well, I mean, they have a good platform. They could sell quite a few books, but they're not necessarily, the problem is no one's building a readership. You need to build a readership. So you have to create a situation in which the comics come out on a regular basis because people need to keep reading them. That's what you need. So I applied that same sort of logic to the Pineys. So I come out with 3 books a year at the same time every year, except this year, and my readership goes up because everybody knows when my books come out, and I can promote them all at the same time, although got messed up this year, and that helps. That helps secure me more sales. In comics, it's even more important, and you just have to. You need to focus on the story, not necessarily the art. Now, the art's very important. You need good art. I'm not saying you don't need good art. But if you don't have a good story, the good art gets you a few sales, and then it just peters out. It just peters out to nothing because nobody cares about the story. So if you're just buying it because it looks pretty and it's a collectible, you only need 1 or 2 of them before you're like, well, I already got one. If you're following the story, and you need to follow the story because you want to find out what happens, you need the story to be compelling. And unfortunately, people in the industry don't really put much emphasis on the writing. I've been in it for years. It's just the way it is. I mean, one of the problems I think at the Ripperverse is the writing. Now, he sort of course corrected. He brought in Chuck Dixon and Mike Barron, which was a great move. But his core title, still isn't great. The writing isn't compelling. Like, I read those issues and I was just like, meh. But I read Chuck Dixon's book and I was like, ooh, this is pretty good. I would read that again. But then the other issue with that kind of stuff is the price. I mean, what you need is a lot of money to make it work now. There's just people don't buy magazines like they used to. Magazines used to be a thing, and everybody bought them, and you read them and you throw them away. And so comic books sort of built their business on the backs of that. And now that magazines are basically gone, who the hell buys magazines anymore? The actual paper comic, it's just not, people don't buy them really. They're kind of a novelty. There's a handful of people who buy them, and they're too expensive. As fewer people buy them, they just keep raising the price. So, you know me, I can go on and on about this. I'll try not to, though. Indie Phantom, did you see Companion movie? Heard it was good and about a hot sex bot. Losing Her Shite. I've seen the trailer for it. It was very deceptive. I know that Dennis Quaid's son's in it. It could be good. The Razor Fist Western sounds the most interesting. Those are really high end. Like Razor is going for like the more of the French comics and the graphic novels. Those are really good. But again, like here, they sell, but they don't sell as well. In Europe, it's a different mentality about comics. So somebody would need to invest serious money and actually have that level of quality for like 2 years before you'd even think about cutting back or pulling the plug. And there's only one company that could do it, and the window is closing and closing rapidly, and that would be Image. Image should have done it a long time ago. They should have launched their own version of heavy metal like 10 years ago, 20 years ago, really. And because it would be the biggest thing ever if they had quality art. But they just don't. They don't think that way. Alex Ogle. I'm not sure they're sick of the girl bosses so much as they are insufferable the way they are written. Female characters are all unimaginative Mary Sues whose only task is to lecture the reader. That is true. I think that's where I failed with my attempt to get into comics. The stories in each that I tried were horrible, and there was an obvious attempt to cover up lack of plot development with big double-page punch-ups or explosions. Storebang is here. I miss my Butterfinger-encrusted Mad magazine. Yeah, again, with comics, it's like, it's just a really tough business. The readership needs to be there. And that's why I always go back to heavy metal or an anthology of some kind. That would be the best. And if I were going to launch a comic book company or relaunch Marvel or DC, that would be the centerpiece of my plan. Would be a anthology, or maybe maybe several different anthologies, and then the only guys who would get their own magazine or comic would be the ones that could support it. And that's what we're down to now anyway. It's Batman, Superman, Spider-Man. But everybody's sick of all those superheroes. They've beaten them to death every which way but Sunday. So there needs to be new stuff. Indie Phantom. Heavy metal would top my sci-fi movie list. Seen it like 20 times. That's a good one too. I probably should have put it on there. Or I should have made a separate category for anthologies. That would have been a good list. JEC. By the way, issue 1 of my new book is coming out in February 18th. Coming out February 18th in comic book stores. Check out the Florida Hippopotamus Cocaine Massacre from JEC. Do you have a link? You want to post a link? You have the capability of posting a link, JEC, if you have one. And here's one of the reasons comics are in such sorry shape. Captain America kicked to the curb for diversity points again. So something to do with the mutants conquering part of the United States, and I guess they killed Captain America again, or he gave the title of Captain America to former X-Men member Danny Moonstar, a.k.a. Mirage. Okay. Whatever. JC, it is not announced yet, but soon, but it was on topic. Oh, okay. Well, let us know. Indie Phantom, I will buy it. JC, there we go. We got a sale already. We're making sales tonight. All right. So next list is my comedy list. So this is a big list. This was a really tough one. This is the one I kind of put some thought in. All right. So comedy list. Oh wait, Alex Ogle at Indie Phantom. Yes, that is a good film, but mainly because it is imaginative. I don't rate the story very very much. I watched Ralph Bakshi's Wizards 1977, which was a horrible corruption of Lord of the Rings. There was a thing with late 70s, early 80s cartoon films with big boobed women. Like kids from the 50s and 60s had grown up, yet not. I'll have the list for the pre-orders soon, says JEC. Good. All right, so here are my comedy list. Number 10 is Borat. I laughed so hard the first time I saw Borat, but it's a very... Once you see it, you're not going to laugh at it again or watch it again, I think, but man, is it funny the first time you see it, I think. 9 is History of the World Part 1. Number 8 is Tropic Thunder. Number 7 is Ghostbusters. Number 6 is Young Frankenstein. Number 5 is Caddyshack. Number 4 is Big Trouble in Little China, which I love. That could probably be in comedy horror, too. Number 3 is The Blues Brothers. Number 2 is Blazing Saddles. And number 1 is Animal House. With honorable mentions to Airplane, Team America World Police, Raising Arizona, Monty Python and the Holy Grail, Dr. Strangelove, The Hangover, just the first one, Dirty Work, A Fish Called Wanda, Something About Mary, and The Producers. All right. So, all good stuff. Alex Ogle, Caddyshack, only at 5? Well, I mean, I had to put it somewhere. I mean, look, it's not like the movies above it are any slouches. The movies above it are Big Trouble in Little China, The Blues Brothers, Blazing Saddles, and Animal House. So, it was very tough. Making that list hurt me. All right, over at Deadline, Tilly Norwood creator talks Backlash, says 40 more AI actors are in the pipeline and it's all going to be okay. Who the F would pay money for an AI actor? You'd have to be out of your mind. Indie Phantom, I love Airplane 2. A solid... I love Airplane 2. Yeah, I would put that in there in the mix too. Maybe the first Police Squad movie, but really the funniest parts about Police Squad was the TV show. Like the first 4 episodes, or my God, I was crying. Storebang, solid list, thank you. Alex Ogle, it should rate higher than just because of Cindy Morgan. Perhaps it should rate higher because of Ted Knight. Spaulding, get your foot off the boat. I love that scene. There's a big controversy with Millie Bobby Brown from Stranger Things and David Harbour. I think, I forget, someone accused Harbour of bullying her. Was it Millie Bobby Brown? I think so. But they just seem to ignore it and do the premiere. I'm not sure why. Is that some kind of threat, I guess? I don't know. And then Harbour broke up with his girlfriend. He's having a bad time. Justice Smith is really passionate about trans actors being cast in trans roles. Well, good for you, Justice. No one cares, I think. Alex Ogle. No, I read that one. Storebang. I use AI actors. I ain't paying them shite, though. Yeah, why do you have to pay them? Nuremberg and Sentimental Values standout debuts with movie-going season in full swing. Specialty box office, I guess. Katie O'Brien from Mission Impossible to Running Man. The actress discusses her big on-screen year and getting audiences back in theaters. I don't think you're doing that. No. JC, the whole point of AI is to steal S for free. Well, it's so you don't have to pay the actors. Or you only have to pay one. See, that's the way I think it'll go. What you'll do is you'll just pay an actor. And the actor you'll film the actor doing the lines and emoting, and then the AI will duplicate it in the computer, and then whatever, actor image is on the screen will duplicate that precisely at every little wrinkle and detail. So literally, you could have an actor play all the roles. Or maybe get like a small cast, like 3. I think that could work. And I think that's exactly what I'm going to do with the Pineys. Finally, I could shoot the Pineys exactly the way I want, with no other people bothering me. I get it exactly how I want, and I'll do all the acting. And then the AI will just change my voice and my image. That could work. I don't know how much of a computer I'm going to need is going to be ridiculous. You guys got to start buying more books so I could buy that computer. Let's see. That's about it for Deadline. Okay. Cosmic Book News. There's more on Jeremy Renner. Accused of sending explicit photos and threatening to call ICE on Yi Zhao. See, I don't know. I think she's a Chinese national. And again, we should be very careful about letting Chinese nationals into this country. Not because they're necessarily bad people, but because they do not have control of their own lives. If the Communist Party of China decides, hey, we want you to go wreck this thing and destroy your career in the process, you don't really have a choice. If you have family back in China, they will threaten to gulag them. They have. So you will do exactly what they say. No question. So, it could be true, but it could also be a Chinese op to ruin Jeremy Renner for some reason. So, I don't know. Peacemaker finally charts on Nielsen, and it's in the gutter. And Comcast is in the fight to buy the Warner Brothers. So, I think Comcast, Netflix, they're only in the fight to buy Warner Brothers because Trump is trying to push it through for Paramount and Skydance. That's my theory. Alex Ogle, the AI will end up doing such a good job of replicating the actors that it will accuse itself of sexual harassment and start making everyone trans. That would be pretty funny. No, what it'll do is, while I'm trying to make the Pineys movie, the computer will keep asking me, are you sure you don't want a person of color in this scene? And I'll just be like, no, stop asking me that. I'm trying to finish this thing. Here it is. Predator Badlands beats box office expectations with $39 million opening. Zack Snyder keeps posting images from behind the scenes doing superhero movies. I'm not sure why. I think he's trying to troll people or something. I can't see them going back to him under any circumstances. So I don't know if he's trying to poison the well or what, but is he trying to blackmail the studios? Listen, give me a job and I'll stop doing this. It's the sort of thing that I think you shouldn't do to a former employer, especially one as powerful as Warner Brothers. And they're still pretty powerful. All right, before I get to my final list and more, we got a few more pages to go. I gotta pee. I'll be right back. Joan, you know what to do, Joan. You entertain. I heard what you said in there. God, Joan, your breath could knock over a whale. Hello. Let's see. Storebang, or the cast an AI version of the Inception era Ellen Page and credit her as Ellen Page. Well, that'll get you some nasty looks. JC, Joan, stop. You're going to get Tony's channel nuked. You can't use that word. Alex Ogle, oh, Joan, switching it up with a Cockney section. Very imaginative. That looks like a lovely recipe for pasta fazool. Yes, I agree with you. Pineapple is a superb topic for pizza. JC, who taught you all this hate, Joan? Storebang, Joan, I can't believe you would be so low as to call Ellen Page a her. Alex Ogle, blimey, Joan, you didn't have to spell that out with the sausage on the pizza. Man, she's making pizzas in here too. That's Joan, bad dog. Here, look. I'll give you a treat if you promise to be good. There you go, Joan. Nice treat for you. There you go. All right. Whew. Okay. Getting back to it. Mass Effect update confirms new game and TV show are moving forward. Maybe. Yeah, here it is again. Zack Snyder shares Jared Leto Joker photo, drops another DC tease. What? JC, apparently you can't type. I don't know if I should say that. If you guys are making certain references, I don't know. Lego Marvel Avengers Strange Tales Disney released now. New Disney Plus series drops November 14th. GTA 6 delay caused by union busting claims. Blah, blah, blah. Okay, a bunch of BS. All right, moving on to the wrap. And I don't think there's anything new here. Sydney Sweeney's Christie ranks amongst the worst wide box office openings with $1.3 million weekend. I'm not surprised the Wrap would say that. They're very much on the left. Deal to end government shutdown reportedly within reach. Hakeem Jeffries says, I hope shutdown will end by Thanksgiving. Whew. You and me both, buddy. Oh, there's Francis Ford Coppola's Belize Island Paradise lease swamped amid megalopolis financial tsunami. Oh no. Is he having financial woes because of that movie? Never spend your own money, kids. That's a rule. At Storebang, Jared Leto is like, so fetch. He's never going to be a thing. That is true. That is true. Over at That Park Place, Jimmy Kimmel and his wife mislead their kids by telling them Trump was behind ABC suspension. Why are you getting your wife involved? Maybe just let her host the show, Jimmy. She sounds like she's wearing the pants in the family. Alex Ogle, now the elections are out of the way, the Dems will compromise. Yeah. They're it was bad, New Jersey. We have Mikey Sherrill to contend with as our governor. I thought our flipping the state red was really going to happen because the guy who ran, Jack Citarelli, only lost by 85,000 votes against Phil Murphy, our old governor. And this time he lost by like almost 500,000 votes. So there's either some shenanigans afoot, which is likely, it's a very corrupt state, or they just really dropped the ball. But these are Republicans in a bluish state. So it's no bueno here. Our taxes are going to go whoop. Harry Potter HBO series confirms it won't have a narrator after rumor hits the internet. Okay. So I think a narrator would be fine. Hollywood's very anti-narrator for some reason, has been for many decades. And I am not against narration if it's used sparingly and if it's for an important reason. A show like Harry Potter, yeah, it'd be fine, I think. JC, Quartering just put up a video with the title saying Dems caved. Oh, cool. At Storebang, shenanigans, I say. New Jersey needs Italian leadership, damn it. Yes, we do. Well, that was Citarelli, who was very Italian, but he didn't do the job. What? What? I hear you over here moaning. What, you little dog? Hey, sit with me? Sit with me for a while. Be cute. But that is good news if they finally caved, because I could get my... Let's see. What is today? Today's the 9th. So I'm hoping to get my copyright. I mean, it was already at the Copyright Office a week after the shutdown, but it's the Electronic Copyright Office, so I might get it quicker. So maybe I get it by like 2 weeks, maybe like the 23rd, 24th. Would be great. Still make Black Friday. Media pushes for The Hunt for Ben Solo and Star Wars sequel revival? But is anyone buying it? Dear God, no. Oh my God. Who the F would want to see that? I hope you do make it. Go ahead and make it, Disney. Pull the trigger on it. I'd love to see you lose $500 million on that. YouTube TV offers $20 credit after Disney blackout as dispute enters second week. Who the hell watches YouTube TV to watch Disney stuff? It doesn't make any sense to me. JC, there's that famous screenwriting coach that was in the movie adaptation that said narration was lazy. You suck if you use them. That is Charlie Kaufman. It can be. It can be. Narration can be very lazy, but if you have a complicated world like Harry Potter and it's aimed at kids and you're trying to make it as relatable as possible, you know, and you're trying to skip over parts of the book that you don't want to dramatize, it's fine. Again, you have to be very sparing in its use. And there has to be a reason for it. You know, like, you really can't do a Sherlock Holmes without a narrator, in my opinion. Because Sherlock was... the stories were written from the point of view of Watson. So, I think it's totally appropriate to have Watson narrate Sherlock Holmes movie. It completely works with the story. JC, Kaufman wrote adaptation. He was parody of a real guy. Oh, right. Yeah, he was in the movie too, the famous guy. I know who you mean. Because he meets him. Nicolas Cage is basically playing Charlie Kaufman in the movie, and he meets him. I forget his name. Alex Ogle. New Jersey Italian leadership. No, we ain't going to raise your taxes, but that sure looks like a nice shop you got there. Be a shame if it caught fire. Want some copyright? Well, what are you going to do for us? Hey, I already sent in my $65. Give me back my $65. You're not going to give me my copyright. I'll stop the check. Now give me my copyright. At Storebang, Robert something. Oh, yeah. I know you mean. I forget his name. He wrote like a book on screenwriting that everybody in Hollywood bought. I bought it too at some point. That's a brilliant... I love that movie, by the way. Adaptation. Because in the middle of the movie, the Charlie Kaufman character describes, like, what the final act of a movie's like when you completely sell out, and then suddenly that's what the movie turns into, and I love that. Over at Breitbart, let's refresh this, see if there was a... No, I don't see... Usually Breitbart's pretty on point with the shutdown stuff, so I'm not seeing a shutdown headline here, but Trump calls anti-tariff people fools, promises $2,000 dividends for Americans. I am against this as much as I would love $2,000. I think he should just put it towards the national debt, or God forbid lower our taxes, but yeah, I don't know. I don't know what he's going to do. The last thing he needs to do is hand everybody $2,000. Storebang, McKee, Robert McKee. Yeah, that's him. So, Lions receivers hit the Trump dance. Oh, that's funny. Trump orders DOJ to investigate meatpacking corporations for price fixing. Well, at least our steaks will be cheap. We'll have something to spend that $2,000 on, Joan. Ooh, won't it be nice to get a steak? I had a steak the other night. It was great. I had, and then the girlfriend bought, as a nice surprise, she bought us steaks, and I grilled them. I almost effed them up, but they came out perfect. Oh my God, they had a crust on them that you wouldn't believe. And so we ate them, but she eats like a bird, so she only ate like a little portion of hers and left the rest. And then this morning I got up and I made steak and eggs, and let me tell you something, it was the greatest breakfast ever. Steak and eggs for breakfast cannot be beat. JC, he promised rebates from Doge. How'd that go? Yeah. Alex Ogle, getting money back from the government is like getting free toilet paper from the mafia. Storebang, what? I'll take them $2,000. Indie Phantom, cheers to based Billy Bob. Billy Bob Thornton, flames celebrities shoving their political positions down audience throat. Excuse me. Accept your little award and F off. Yeah. Yeah, good for him. A little late, but... Yeah, $2,000 to everybody who would be eligible, whoever that means. I mean, certainly I'd be eligible, I guess, but... you know, it would be a jolt to the economy, because most people in my position would use it to pay bills and pay off debt, or a couple of people, you know, I had also invested in, like, I need a new tent for my various shows. I'd buy more books, you know. Maybe I'd buy an ad for the Pineys. I think most people would invest it in things like that if you gave it to people who were... You don't want to give it to poor people, because people who are, like, destitute, they probably ain't even going to get it. And they may fritter it away on something pointless, but I think you need to give it to people who are, like, before they get to that point. I think once you're, like, destitute, $2,000 is almost like, doesn't matter how much money you give a person. I think they, unless they got a real plan to get back up on their feet, they're just going to burn through it. But Indie Phantom, cheers to based Billy Bob. Better yet, forget your awards and just F off. Yeah, this is why people aren't going to the movies. Who cares about these people anymore? So, but I think the $2,000 is a bad idea. It probably won't happen. I mean, it already didn't happen once. He already said this once. Or either that, by the time he gives us $2,000, it'll be like, 3 years from now, he'll be going out of office. Storebang, Tony, what size tent do you need? Like a pop-up shade, 10 by 10? Yeah, that's... I have an 8 by 8 now. I'd rather have a slightly smaller one, like an 8 by 8, but that's what I'm looking at. I mean, something like that. The one I have is on its last legs. I finally bent one of the poles, taking it down, or I don't know what I did. Pop singer Olivia Rodrigo lashes out at DHS video using her song Racist Hateful Propaganda. JC, if he does it, it'll be right before the midterms. Try and buy people's votes. Yeah, probably. But that's what they'll say. I don't know. It'd be hard to beat if he gave people $2,000 before the midterms. I think a lot of people would vote for the Republicans then. But it might set a bad precedent, too. It might set a bad precedent where people will be like, oh, we're like this. Promise me you're giving me $2,000 next year or $4,000 and I'll vote for you. Yeah, it's not a great plan. Let's see. More on Sydney Sweeney. Kim Kardashian reveals the results of her first attempt to pass the California bar exam. She blamed ChatGPT for giving her wrong answers. Isn't that cheating on your test if you're using ChatGPT? Doesn't make any, or OpenAI or whatever she was using. Doesn't make any sense. Why is she taking like a legal exam anyway? Why is she trying to get a law degree? Giant boobs worth millions and millions of dollars. You're trying to get a law degree for what? So you can... What exactly? I don't get it. Indie Phantom. These Frankenstein posters are lame. Look like poor things. Not seeing those. Newly elected SAG-AFTRA president Sean Astin. AI an absolute threat to actors. Here is John Nolte's Predator Badlands review. You might like this kinder, softer Predator. Probably not. This dropped this week too. Kanye West meets with renowned rabbi to apologize for past remarks disparaging Jews. Yeah, you know, Kanye said some things, but he's very sorry this time. I'm sure he's not going to say them again. Jesus, man. Did you see the stuff he did? Did you hear the things he said? I'm pretty sure you can't take that back. I'm pretty sure he has a song out there he can't take back. I don't think he's taking it off of YouTube, and I don't think he could if you tried. So, I think that's a bit of an empty apology. Scarlett Johansson calls out people making anti-Semitic comments. I'm concerned they're going to be physically violent. Well, I mean, that's a concern. It's bad. So, I don't know. Just call them out and ignore them, block them, whatever. Bill Maher, my old... Oh my God, Storebang gave me $5. Thank you. Pop-up shade fun. Piney power forever. Thank you, my friend. Indie Phantom, Sean Astin. Bill Maher, my ex-boss. Dems should be questioned on if they align with Ma'am Danny. Didn't matter in the New Jersey governor's election. Mikey Sherrill openly endorsed Ma'am Danny, and people here voted for her anyway. Allegedly. But then again, North Jersey is like part of New York City. There's a... Patterson, New Jersey has been mostly taken over by... They just renamed, I think, Patterson Street, Palestinian Way. Yeah, there's a lot of immigrants in North Jersey. So I hope the ice raids get down here real soon. Well, up there, I should say. Alex Ogle, Midnight's Edge had an interesting take on Predator Badlands. The idea is that the press are purposely reviewing it as woke to get people not to watch it. ME suggests Hollywood wants it to fail. That's kind of what I thought too, initially. Because the Hollywood Reporter take on it, which I never saw the article, but a lot of other people talked about it, was that the Predator's queer. Like he writes this long article about how the Predator is really a queer allegory. And I just thought, it can't be that bad. No one else is saying that except this one reporter on the Hollywood Reporter. And I thought, that seems really odd. That seems like an odd take. He is either like really off the reservation, or they just decided to put that up for some reason. So yeah, I could see that or I suggested, I think in another video, that it could be industrial sabotage, right? So Disney, let's say, or Universal or whoever, doesn't want Predator Badlands to succeed, so they plant that story in order to undermine the movie. However they can. So yeah, I can see that. Indie Phantom, Tony, will you review Frankenstein? Mia Goth looks hot in some pictures. I think I'm looking to watch that. Yeah, it looks good. I mean, it's getting good reviews, so yeah, I think so. I still have to watch Megalopolis. I know it's not playing anywhere. I haven't seen it on any streaming platforms as of yet. Let's see. Newsom, too far left for me. His moves to the center, not enough. I guess that's Newsom talking about... Oh. No, that's Bill Maher talking about Newsom? Indie Phantom, there is no way Predator is not woke. He is getting bullied and has feelings. It's just, you know what? It's just not Predator. Like, if you had made it a different alien, probably would have been okay. A similar kind of Predator-like alien. Like you probably could have done that in like a Star Trek episode with the Klingons, right? Or like Worf. But everything in Hollywood is being geared again to the new demo, which for some insane reason has been decided that it's 20 to 40-year-old lesbians. That's what I heard. I still kind of can see it, though. That's why everything's female, I think. That's why you have a lot of lesbian protagonists and everything. So, Indie Phantom, Frankenstein is everywhere, and Netflix. Yeah, I will probably watch it. What I did watch this week, and I didn't review it, but I don't know, maybe I'll review it, because I have nothing else. There's no trailers tonight. I watched Aqua Teen Hunger Force, the second movie, I guess this is, or third. It's called Aqua Teen Hunger Force Phantasm. I'm not sure why it's called Phantasm. It's just the name. And I like Aqua Teen Hunger Force. And it was okay. As, Aqua Teen Hunger Force really doesn't lend itself to be a movie. It's just a very, very stupid cartoon. And I also watched the entire run of Smiling Friends from Adult Swim, and that was pretty good. That show's good. It's funny, and there's no politics in it. So that's when I read an interview with those guys, and they said they want to keep the show apolitical, and I was like, sign me up. And I watched the entire run, and it was pretty good. It's a very stupid cartoon as well. I like stupid cartoons. Storebang. I haven't been to a theater in years, and I'm not particularly interested in a Sydney Sweeney's new boxing movie, but I think I should go and see it in solidarity with her. Indie Phantom. They should remake Enemy Mine in that case. Must be Barbie effect for the women. Zevek's Demise. Aqua Teen needs a series of video games. Their video game was awesome. They have one video game. And I loved it because it's a golfing game, but it's not really a golfing game. I mean, it's sort of a golfing game, but like it just goes off the rails and does a bunch of stupid stuff. I have one more list, by the way. I'm saving for the end. Indie Phantom. I heard Play Dirty is actually a decent movie from the guys at That Park Place. That did look good. I forgot about that movie. I don't think is it out? I don't think it's out yet. Who the hell's in that? Marky Mark, I think, is in it. Yeah, Marky Mark. And Shane Black is the director. So sign me up. Yeah, I'm absolutely going to watch this movie. Yeah, I did look at this trailer. I love Shane Black. Everything he writes, I love. So Lethal Weapon, The Last Boy Scout. I still haven't seen his Predator movie, but I have to go say it. At some point, I will find it and watch it. I hear it's terrible, but almost as terrible as the other two recent Predator movies. But the who said it? I forget. One of the critics said the problem with Predator is, or the recent Predator movies, it's not you can't put comedy in it, and that's what Shane did apparently in his Predator movie, and you can't humanize the Predator, and it just doesn't work. So yeah, Play Dirty, I'm all on board. I think it's what isn't this like one of the oh gosh, what character is it? Is it Carter or something? It's like a famous character. They're remaking yet another version of it. I forget. Zevek's Demise. They could do anything with a Aqua Teen Hunger Force game. Yeah. Yeah, I would love to see them do, just a game where it makes fun of games, right? So in the golf game, half the time you can't even golf because there's all kinds of other stuff happening, and you don't even get to play 18 holes. It's ridiculous. Like the game just goes off the rails, and you're stuck doing stuff you don't want to do. So that's what they should do with, say, any game. It would be hilarious. I would love to see like a Grand Theft Auto game for the Aqua Teen Hunger Force. That would be freaking hilarious. But I would be the only one that would be playing it. You, maybe a couple of you, but Indie Phantom. I watched Colin Farrell gambling flick. Not great, but some cool photography and buffet binges. Yeah, I wasn't sure about that movie. Been out a few weeks. Indie Phantom. Shane Black wrote the second worst Predator movie. Autism Saves the Day. Oh, geez. I still feel obligated to go support Shane. So at some point I will. Amy Lou Wood jeers at fellow White Lotus star Sydney Sweeney over American Eagle controversy. Once again, my family is calling and emailing me because they forget I'm doing a live stream. To which my mother will text back, and you can't answer the phone. Indie Phantom, new GTA game delayed another 6 months. I don't know what they're doing. I'm wondering if they're going back and forth between making it more woke and less woke. Like every time I hear a report, it like goes the other way. All right. For bonus, I put in the New York Post. Here's the president using Air Force One to buzz the stadium there during a game, which I thought was pretty funny. And he's attending the game. It's on Netflix, Tony, says Indie Phantom. Oh, I guess I gotta watch it. Tony Romo says Patriots are DTF as another bizarre soundbite goes viral. Why the hell would you say DTF, dude? Does he not know what DTF means? It's down to F. What the F are you talking about, dude? ICE received more than 200 job applications since Trump admin launched new crackdown. Say more on Ma'am Danny. Top New York City rabbi issues dire warning on Ma'am Danny. Does not believe in coexistence. It's gonna get dicey in New York. I'll stay out of it. Woman born with no brain turns 20 in medical miracle. She's told she would never make it to 5. I'm glad to see Kathleen Kennedy doing well. Let's see. Is there anything else here? I don't think so. Don't care about that. Here's a helicopter crashing. They don't show the whole thing. More communism in New York. Mosimo Giannulli, 62, enjoys club night with stylist 32 after shocking Lori Loughlin split. Well, if you're going to split with your ex, get yourself a nice 32-year-old. Sports, don't care. A lot of communism in the New York Post these days. Oh, here was a story. Halsey, who's some singer, some fan reached up and like grabbed her ass in the middle of a show. What the F? That's not cool. What is this guy? It's a naked guy. Naked madman breaks Vietnam vet's legs, but victim ends attack with 3 gunshots. Whoa. Wow. Well, he won't be bothering anybody for a while. Indie Phantom. Boom. Oh, born. Sorry, you corrected something from before. Oh yeah, this satellite. Sets of jets surrounding 3I Atlas could be used for navigation of a spacecraft as second interstellar object is spotted in the sky. I think this is just a bunch of junk floating in space. Indie Phantom. Lori was once pretty smoking. Storebang. Dang, white men grabbing singers' arses all the time. Apparently. Here's Salt and Pepper at the Hollywood or the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame with Missy Elliott. Again, they're very famous, but they don't do rock songs. I don't think they've ever done rock songs. Zebix Demines. Aqua Teen Hunger Force takes on New York commies but gets all tied up in the bureaucracy. Yeah, I could see that. Indie Phantom. I was drunk, Tony, and didn't think it was her butt. What? Alex Ogle. I recall the band Censor visiting my university decades ago and the lead singer complaining, whenever I lean over into a crowd, some of you are grabbing my tits. Really? Zebix Demise. GTA style. Yeah, GTA style. Oh my God. GTA style Aqua Teen Hunger Force would be the tits. At Storebag. Push it real good. Oh, yeah. It's not really rock, but I guess. But look at this. Chernobyl cheesecake. Taco Bell's new Mountain Dew Baja Blast pie horrifies customers. Out of all the pies you would sell at Taco Bell, this is like, is Taco Bell just trying to sell the grossest food? I mean, look at this thing. And it tastes like Mountain Dew. That's not a good taste in my view. Like, if this tastes like key lime pie, then I'd be like, it's a little artificial looking, but I would taste that. Zevik, I'd try it. I don't know, man. That looks gross. It tastes like Mountain Dew. JC, it's like the gunk from Troll 2. Oh, here's Nikki Glaser. Now, Nikki Glaser, for my money, is pretty hot for a female comedian. I mean, her face, no. Obviously, but I'm saying body-wise. She's very thin. Indie Phantom, my jokes have an expiry date, Tony. Did I miss one of your jokes? I'm sorry. I'm sorry I ruined your joke. Nikki Glaser's got a great bod. Yeah, but the face, not so much. Indie Phantom, I would probably eat that pie because I love pie. I do love me some good pie. Favorite pie? Banana cream. Oh yeah, if I can get me a banana cream pie, that would be some pie. All right, I think we're just about done here. JC, I mean, if you'll eat a Taco Bell place. If you eat a taco, wait a minute. I mean, if you'll eat at a taco place that squeezes the meat for the tacos out of a caulking gun, you'll eat the green pie. Probably. And no one over the age of, I think, 19 works at Taco Bell. I discovered on my last trip. Storebang, key lime pie is so freaking tart that I do love me some lemon meringue, though. Plus, Nikki Glaser is a total wood. Yeah, I think so. All right. We're here at the end, so I'll do my final list, which is trilogies. So this is top 10 trilogies. Indie Phantom, I never heard of Nikki Glaser, but I would eat that pie. Okay, trilogies. Number 10, Die Hard. Now, Die Hard's more than a trilogy, but I think the first two movies are really good. The third movie's I think holds up enough to be on the list. Clint Miller's here. I thought a South Jersey guy would go for blueberry pie. I do love me some blueberry. I do. What's the best blueberry pie? Well, but see, there's no good place to get blueberry pie other than just generic blueberry pie. But when I was at Mood's Farm, which has a blueberry festival every year, they have a contest for the blueberry dessert. And everybody makes a blueberry dessert. And then at the end of it, after the contest is over, the desserts are free and anybody could take them. So one woman had this really good blueberry pie. So it was like blueberry and like grinded up blueberry and whipped cream and like a gel. So it was almost like blueberry, not cheesecake. It didn't have that cheesy flavor. You know what I mean? But it was like blueberry key lime pie. You know how like key lime pie holds enough that you could cut it and cut a piece out? So it was like that, except it was all blueberry. And then it had whipped cream and then it had some fresh blueberries on it. That would be, I would make that my favorite pie. Indie Phantom, cherry pie forever. Storebang's laughing. Key lime is good though, says Indie Phantom. Zebix, strawberry rhubarb pie is one of my favorites. That's a good pie. I do love me some strawberry. My mother makes an amazing version of that kind of pie I just described with the blueberry, but she almost never makes it with blueberry. She'll make it with strawberry or raspberry. Top notch. She doesn't like to make it because it's a lot of trouble. So she makes it for me, and then like, I went to a lot of trouble to make this, and I'm just like, okay, it's really good, Ma. I hope you make it again. She's like, forget it. It's too much trouble. All right, so Die Hard trilogy is number 10. Indie Phantom. Now I want pie, Tony. Well, you can get it soon. We're wrap it up. Number 9 is the Star Trek trilogy. Now, again, technically not a trilogy, and I would say the first one's kind of weak, but the second one more than makes up for it, and the third one is rock solid. And the fourth one really is good. So if you count 2, 3, and 4, so I had to put Star Trek on there. Zebix, yeah, pie sounds good now. Sorry to make everybody want pie. I don't have any pie, if it's any consolation. All I have is a bunch of chocolate because I bought Hershey's chocolate for Halloween and nobody came to my door. Number 8, trilogy, the Dead trilogy, Night of the Living Dead, Dawn of the Dead, Day of the Dead. I think it's pretty solid overall. Day of the Dead, a little weak, the original one, but solid enough. Has some high points. Number 7, again, more than 3, is the Toy Story trilogy. Technically, we're up to 5 movies now, and really the fourth one's very good. Surprisingly good. But the third one is top-notch, I think. So Toy Story, I would put on that list. Number 6 is the Star Wars trilogy, the original one. Very solid. The weakest one is probably Jedi, but Return of the Jedi. But it's a good, solid payoff movie. Number 5, Indiana Jones, of course. Indie Phantom, the J.J. Abrams treks? No. The original one. Indie Phantom, those are a trilogy. Nah, they don't belong on any list. The first one's like watchable. The first one had potential to build from, and then I think he blew it. Indiana Jones, the first 3, there are only 3. Indie Phantom, Dead trilogy is great. Day is weakest. Yes, I agree. Back to the Future, very solid trilogy. Again, the third one's probably the weakest, but solidly, it's just payoff after payoff. Good fun. Zebek, yeah, I liked the Land of the Dead. That was okay. It was pretty watchable. Number 3, Fistful of Dollars trilogy. You know, with the Clint Eastwood spaghetti western thing. I mean, really, I celebrate the entire catalog of Clint Eastwood for the most part. Very few movies in there that are stinkers. Most of them are bangers, especially the westerns. So, but, you know, I don't want to pick everything. I probably should have done a western list. Damn it, maybe next week. Indie Phantom only saw up to Toy Story 2. 3 is really good. Number 2, the Mad Max trilogy. Here's why I like the Mad Max trilogy. There are really 3 different movies. The first movie is a straight-up cop revenge thing. And they could have done a sequel to that and made it, you know, basically another revenge cop movie. But they didn't. The second movie is really when things kick into high gear and society is destroyed. And then the third movie, like, pushes it kind of past even that. So now you're in an era where it's like, it's post-apocalyptic, but we're like further past that, where it's like cities are being rebuilt to some extent. So that's why I really like, and again, I'm talking original. The Mel movies. Obviously. And number 1, of course, everybody say it with me, Lord of the Rings. Lord of the Rings, I mean, in terms of the balance of three movies, you really can't beat it. Because the third one's not just payoffs, right? I mean, there are a lot of big payoffs in the third one, but it's kind of more than that. And there's just so much good in the Lord of the Rings trilogy. I don't know why you even consider remaking those movies. JC, I would have done Star Wars as number one. Star Wars, I don't know. It's good, but it's so derivative. And I like it, but Indie Phantom. Mad Max is great. Thunderdome has some issues, but still solid. Zevex, I would have done Phantasm. LOL. Phantasm, like the old 80s horror movie. They're pretty crazy. Poltergeist. And I had some honorable mentions, and I should put Poltergeist in there and Phantasm. But the honorable mentions were Blade. The third one it's not really great. But the first two are so solid. Indie Phantom never made it through Lord of the Rings. Really? It is long. JC, the other sequels to Star Wars have ruined its reputation. Yeah, it's definitely damaged it. Fistful of Dollars trilogy is a good call. Blade gets an honorable mention. The first two are great. The third one it's just bad. It's not good. Spider-Man, same kind of deal. The first two are great, and the third one's kind of a mess. Godfather, 100%. The first two are amazing, and the third one is like, what happened? Terminator, same deal. The first two are amazing. Third one and more, what happened? And then you got The Matrix. The first one's amazing. Never should have tried to make it a trilogy. And the rest are kind of like, eh. Evil Dead trilogy is one that I enjoy. Yeah, I should put that on honorable mentions. The first one isn't the same, but yeah. Zebek, Evil Dead is a lot of fun. Yeah, I mean the second one really gets it going, and then the third one's amazing. And really, you could count there's been other projects after that. JC, Evil Dead trilogy. Yeah, I probably should have included that in honorable mention at least. Yeah. It's just that first one is rough. It's not really like the others, but and that's about it on the trilogies. I mean, it's so hard to process all these, because I'm thinking of movies I've seen like decades ago. There's a bunch I know I left out, from the 70s that are probably awesome. Indie Phantom. I can't get into Peter Jackson, but the Spider Pit in King Kong is tight. There's a Peter Jackson movie. The hell's it called? It's like his first movie. Dead Alive, I think it's called. Is that him? No, Peter Jackson. Oh, here it is. Titles. Here's King Kong. Yeah, I like King Kong. A lot of people didn't like it. What's he got coming up? Untitled Adventures of Tintin sequel? Let's see. Bad Taste. That's a comedy. That one's not bad. Oh, it's Dead or Alive? Or no, it's Dead Alive. It's Dead Alive. That's kind of an interesting flick. It's a zombie flick. From JEC says Dead or Alive. Zebek's Demise. Yeah, he did Dead Alive. The Frighteners, very underrated. I really like The Frighteners. And here's all the Lord of the Rings stuff. The Lost Spider Pit sequence. I guess I haven't seen this, or I had to have seen it in the extended edition, I guess. I don't know. There's so many scenes. I haven't seen the Hobbit movies, though. Indie Phantom, The Frighteners suck. Oh, come on. I like The Frighteners. You're a tough sale, Indie Phantom. You're a tough sale. I don't know why they did the War of Rohirrim. That seemed like a bad idea. All right. I think we're just about wrapped up here. What have we learned today? Well, we've learned I can't remember all the movies I've ever seen. And I've probably seen more bad movies than good, but I tried to give you a lot of good movies on my list today. Indie Phantom, Spider Pit is boss. I'm going to have to go back and look at it. Oh, I got to turn this off or I'm going to get flagged at YouTube. JEC, Spider Pit sequence was a legendary scene that was cut from the original King Kong. Oh, okay. Indie Phantom, that is where Michael J. Fox started to lose his mind. Zevik, I can't remember all the movies I've ever seen either. Yeah, it's super tough. You start thinking about what's your best this, what's your best that. You know, and then you think like certain movies when you see you're young, it's like they're just amazing because you haven't seen that kind of movie before. So like when I was in college, I saw Koyaanisqatsi, which is it's not really a movie. It's like Philip Glass did the soundtrack, and he's a guy who does synthesizer music. And so it's just all synthesizer music and images of like speeded up or slowed down things or, just experimental film stuff over and over again. It's the kind of movie you go get stoned and go see. But I wasn't stoned. I just went to go see it. And it's just a neat movie. It's kind of fun to watch. If you have, if you're in a movie theater, it's definitely something you want to see in a movie theater or on at least a nice big TV. So, like, you see that, and it's interesting because you've never seen anything like that before. Indie Phantom, just thought that Sweeney should play King Kong love interest. She could be Fay Wray, absolutely. Absolutely. But that's another story I don't think we need to see, right? Last thing we need is another version of King Kong. Yeah, so some movies you see when you're young and it's like they're just fun and outrageous then, and then you realize as you get older you just like those movies because they remind you of those days. And so it's really tough to rate these movies, and then you watch something that's like super classic like The Third Man. Third Man is so good and so ahead of its time. It just blew me away. Indie Phantom, use Letterboxd. Very good to remember where and when I saw movies. I have a log nearly 7,000 flicks there. Wow. I remember going to see The Third Man on a date. I took some rando girl on a date to see that movie. And I almost lost complete interest in her watching that movie. That's how good the movie was. At the end of it, I was just like, that movie was so good. I couldn't stop talking about it. And I don't think I was like, I was kind of talking at her. Really wasn't talking with her. And she was just trying to keep up with my excitement and kind of, it didn't go anywhere. Indie Phantom. Yeah, we still have a Kong series going now. Goodness. yeah, I can't see Kong being. I mean, a lot of this stuff just needs to go away, and was the pattern for years in Hollywood. You know, they make something. Maybe it was classic, maybe it was made before, but then it would be another 20 years before they would think about doing it again. And that's about the cycle, about every 20 years. Because someone who saw it as a young person, say in your teens, would be in their mid 30s, and then they would hear about that movie and they might go, oh, I want to go see that. Maybe I'll bring the kids, or maybe I'll bring my wife, or whatever. And that was sort of the pattern, like every 20 years. Now that pattern's been completely disrupted. They've greenlit so many remakes of so many things way too soon. I mean, you look at the Marvel movies. You know, we've got way too many Spider-Man movies, so many that all the actors are still alive and not too old to play Spider-Man. Indie Phantom. Man, you are looking young, Tony, for someone who saw The Third Man on a Date. Yes, I am. It was at, we used to have a really good theater. Well, it's still there. We have the Ritz in Philly, and they will show very, art house movies, and they showed The Third Man one time. Kraken is here. Good evening, all. Dude, we're just wrapping up. You're going to have to go back, and I posted a bunch of recommendations in this one. Just briefly, we were just wrapping it all up. We talked about Sydney Sweeney. We talked about a lot about the Predator, and in the usual sad state of the movies. But I did recommend very many movies and trilogies, so this is one to go back and rewatch. So what's coming up for me this week? I got a lot of stuff going on this week. I'm a double booked for a bunch of things. So Wednesday, I'm going to the Ridgewood Senior Living Center at historic Smithville, right across the street from Leeds Point, New Jersey. Kraken, I didn't get a notification. I will rewatch. Oh, sorry about that. And before I forget, Storebang, thank you for sending me $5. Later that day, I'm going to Zed's Beer in Marlton, New Jersey at 5 p.m. for my talk on how to hunt the Jersey Devil. So that's Wednesday night. Indie Phantom, top 10 sports films was my fave list you made, Tony. I didn't make a sports film list. I'll make one next week, maybe. Then on Friday, I'm going to Books and Buns at the Starlight Collective at Dragon Shops in Bridgeton, New Jersey from 6:30 to 8:30. And I will be doing my talk on how to hunt the Jersey Devil. On, when is this? On the Saturday, the next Saturday, I'm going to the 16th Magnolia Station Train Show. And this is normally a train show, but apparently they opened it up to other vendors. And that's from 9 to 3 in Magnolia, New Jersey. That's like basically 2 towns over for me. So I'm pretty excited about that because I don't have to drive too far. And then later that night, after 3 p.m., I got to get in my car and go to Mount Laurel for the hotel at the Grand Resort for the Vampires of New Jersey Con 3, where I'll be doing my talk, a shortened version of the talk about the Jersey Devil. So hopefully I could sell at least they'll let me sell some books while I'm there. So this is my next week. It's going to be, that's a pretty full week for November. That's 2, 3, 4, 5 events. That's a pretty solid week. So hopefully I make some damn money. Indie Phantom. Oh yeah, that wasn't it. I love the list of movies based on TV shows. Oh, that's a good suggestion too. Yeah. Indie Phantom, that was your best list. Perhaps I will do that next week. Sports, TV shows, westerns I got to do. Man, there's so many genres. And you know the worst part is, you go to Netflix and you try to search something, and the genres make no sense. They like make no sense anymore. Like it used to be just like, here's the stuff you saw, here's the new stuff, and then here's, horror, western, comedy, blah blah blah. Now it's like a Venn diagram of like topics, and you can't figure out half this. Like I'm looking for stuff and I can't find it. So, I mean, I have HBO Max and I have Netflix, and I barely watch either one of them. Thank God they're both free, because otherwise I would never pay for them. It's just not worth it. Just not worth it to me. For the amount I watch, nah. There's so little on there that I want to watch. Some of the Warner Brothers stuff, but if I had to pay for one, I like the Amazon. The Amazon, to me, is the best bet. Indie Phantom, did you do a top 7 Bond list? No, but I could easily do that as well. Should I bother to broaden it to spy movies? Probably not. Not really any great spy movies outside of Bond that I'm interested in that I can think of off the top of my head. Kraken. There's a website out there that does the Netflix search for you. It also finds hidden shows and movies that are not listed but still active or watchable. I can't remember what it's called. Really? So there's stuff on there that's listed and still watchable. Huh. That's kind of odd. I bet if I did a search for it, I could probably find it. All right. Good tip. I'll look for that. All right. Thanks for dropping by, guys. Once again, thanks to Storebang for donating to the tent fund. Hopefully this year I get a new tent for my various Piney adventures. Book 19, hopefully dropping soon now that the government shutdown seems to be on its way to ending. I hope that they make an announcement Monday. And Indie Phantom, my top 5 Bonds include all the Bonds except Craig. True story. Clint Miller, Jason Bourne movies, Mission Impossible as spy movies. I guess, but I hate the Mission Impossible movies. I mean, one of them's kind of watchable that I watched. The one that Brad Bird directed's okay. So, the Bourne Identity? Is he really a spy? It's not really a spy, right? I mean, he doesn't do any spy stuff. They're just out to kill him from the beginning. I mean, I guess he did spy stuff prior to the events of the movie when they find his body, but he's kind of just a super soldier, really. Like, none of these guys do spy stuff anymore, really. And, like, Bond is almost like, it's almost not spy stuff when you think about it. It's like he's never infiltrating another government, really. He's always infiltrating some guy who's doing bad stuff internationally. So, yeah. But we'll do Bond next week, and westerns and TV shows, sports movies. We'll do them all. Indie Phantom, Bourne doesn't remember who he is. Bad spy. Yeah. I don't think he does any spy stuff, but like, and he's really more of a super soldier. I think maybe they had him kill people? I don't know. Don't really make that totally clear. He's just super smart and could do all kinds of crazy things. That's part of the problem with spy movies. Without the Soviet Union, how do you do the spy stuff? Right? So, who would you spy against now? Well, maybe you could spy against Russia, but, like, it's not a fair fight when you think about it. Like, we have all the advantages. Russia is got the GDP of Spain, I think I read once. So it's not like we don't have unlimited funds to keep our spies, mostly safe-ish. Maybe a spy in China would be a real deal, because that would be scary. The Chinese will effing kill you. I mean, the Russians would kill you too, but I think there's a lot more leeway in Russia than there is in China. Same with the North Koreans, but we're still sort of like above those guys. Like, the Soviet Union was like a real adversary. I think that's part of the problem. Storebang, where the crap is infiltration anymore, damn it? Yeah, I mean, Indie Phantom, Matt Damon. That's the best. All right, I'm going to wrap it here. Thank you guys for tuning in. I appreciate it. And we'll see you in the next one. Oh, smash a like and subscribe, all that good stuff. I'm going to go make some more videos. Good night.